Hello, I'm Pastor Jonathan, and I just want to take a moment and talk to you about why this channel's created. And the reason is because an alarming rate of pastors are leaving the ministry. They're walking away from what God has called them to do. And an alarming rate, usually within the first 10 years, they're just out. Something happens where they feel called in the ministry. They take steps towards entering ministry. Most of them will go and enter ministry, and then something happens. Some kind of failure of some sort will happen. But mainly, pastors leaves because of hard situations or whatever. And I wanted to create a channel that will be a blessing to bivocational pastors and full-time pastors as well. But most pastors, when they enter ministry, they're going to enter some kind of bivocational situation. They're going to enter a small church or a small plant or something, small ministry, where they need to exercise their gifting. And so, but whenever you enter ministry, there are some unique challenges that you're going to face if you're not already facing them now. In fact, you may have found this channel because you're facing these challenges right now, and you're ready to throw your hands up in the air and say, you know what, I'm done. I've done this for too long. I've suffered for too long. I'm burnout. I'm emotionally burnt out. I'm mentally burnt out. I'm spiritually burnt out. I just can't keep going. And I'm going to just tell you right now, don't quit. Don't walk away yet. Do not leave what God has called you to do yet. But I want to talk to you a minute before you go on into the extra videos, and hopefully we'll have videos that talk about a variety of topics. But the purpose of this channel is to help meet a need in your life as a minister or a pastor, especially our bivocational pastors, which are very much burdened down with a lot that's going on. A bivocational pastor is extremely busy, and if you're like me, you're a father, you're a husband, and you're a pastor, and you work an external job to be able to provide for your financial and physical needs, and yet you are leading a church or a small group of people to fulfill the ministry God has called them to. And as a job as a pastor, you feel called to equip the saints for the work of ministry. And that's what you're trying to do. And so this channel is to help equip you and give you the tools necessary in order to fulfill your calling and fulfill it productively, so you can be an effective pastor, so you can be an effective minister. And there's a number of things that I'm learning along the way that I wish I would have known when I first entered. I wish I would have known specific things that this channel will help work through. What do you do when this situation happens? How do you handle this? What expectations are expected of you as a bivocational pastor? How can you work through this and not get emotionally, physically, or emotionally, mentally, and spiritually burn out? Those are the questions that we're going to try to answer. So this channel is to help give you the support and the confidence you need to say, you know what, there's nothing in me, but I can do what God has called me to do. He's equipped me to do this. He's equipping me to continue to do this, and I want to keep taking steps forward in that direction. Secondly, we want to give you solutions challenges that you will face in ministry. Because when you enter ministry, you are entering a challenge. Not only is the ministry just challenging, you're also entering spiritual warfare. Now, we want to give you tools on how to on challenge you meet and how to effectively handle those challenges, maybe even understanding some of the spirit behind some of the challenges that you are facing, and to give you some biblical solutions on what to do as a pastor. There's a lot of, when you enter a ministry or you start doing something, there's a lot of tradition, a lot of traditional pastoral role expectations. There's a lot of different expectations of you as a pastor, of what people feel like this is what you should do or you shouldn't do, or how much time you should spend doing this or whatever. We're going to discuss what God wants of you and how you can fulfill that. So we're going to give you some solutions of challenges that you most likely will face, not only in church-wide, but also with family, finances, things like that hopefully will help bless you. Also, we're trying to help you recognize opportunities that you may not know that are right in front of you. When we enter ministry under a certain mindset, and usually we've been programmed in some ways to think that way. And then if you go back to the Bible, you're like, wow, that's not really the avenue that the apostles took. That's not really the avenue that churches took way back when. And so there's a mold that we kind of enter ministry with, and a lot of times we have to be willing to break that mold. And that's okay. And that's okay to break a mold. As long as we are fulfilling this, as long as we are holding on to this, as long as the scriptures is what we base our ministry on, and as long as we're trying to please the Lord, then man-made molds can be broken. I'm going to Sean, you hear more about that later on this channel when you watch our videos. The other thing is we want to help you overcome the hurdles that you will face in ministry. Not just you, but also your wife. As you go through these hurdles and your family, these hurdles that you face that usually cause pastors to quit or resign or run or leave the ministry just in any way, or cause them to fail. We want to help you overcome these hurdles and look past these hurdles so that way you can be more effective in ministry. And that's really our ultimate goal. We want to get before God, finish our race, and stand before Him and say, good and faithful servant. Good and faithful servant. So our goal was to help get you from your call in the ministry to the ending of your call, to the finish of the race, that you finish the race well, that you finish the race before your Lord. And He says, good, well done, good and faithful servant. That's our goal. But the problem is a lot of people, they get started on the race, and then somewhere something happens that they end up leaving, or they end up disqualifying themselves, or they end up walking away. And we want to keep you from doing that. And there's some things that you can do today to help you keep from quitting tomorrow. And some of it has to do with practical things, practical solutions. Some of it has to do with a mindset. Some of it has to do with a scriptural knowledge on how to handle things, and just be, and maybe some of it is just an attitude problem in handling these situations. So we're going to discuss this stuff through this channel. We'll discuss different topics. Please like and subscribe to this video. Subscribe to our channel. And if you have questions that you want me to particularly deal with, then go to, you can email me at bivocpastor@gmail.com. That's BIVOC pastor@gmail.com. And I will do videos that deal with different topics. So thank you for your time. Like I said, like and subscribe below, and have a wonderful day.